Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and esteemed panel members. And I'm going to make it as quickly as I can take you, all of you, through a very quick and a crisp presentation. In today's world, we expect our kids to acquire workplace skills, and they should be job ready. And that's the major aspiration that parents have, or they are higher education ready. Otherwise, where are we going to send them? These are the two main challenges of the school education. This core skills for lifelong learning and 21st century instructional delivery and a learning practice. And there are parallels between our research and the research of University of Melbourne Assessment and Research Center, which is this project is similar to that is funded by Microsoft, Intel, and etc. for 5 different countries like Australia, Singapore, I think UK, Netherlands have funded University of Melbourne to do a research on this. There is a great parallel between what we have done and what they have done. And this is the daunting challenge that we have. And the cost of education, we must be sensitive to it because India, the dollar rising, and it puts a pressure on many of our budgets. Now, these are the facts of life. If you educate a child, when they drop out, that's going to take about 21,000. And NSDC is targeting 500 million people in India by 2022. I mean, these figures are specific to AP. Because this is happening in AP, we took AP figures. If you see, there's a lot of dropout. And now, with CBSE is expecting us to implement CCE. I don't know how many schools are sincerely implementing CCE. As part of RTE mandate, RTE calls for Section 5 of RTE. There is a mandate that we have to implement CCE as component of RTE law. And the next challenge, first challenge for all of us is to how we are going to ground CCE. The second challenge is how we're going to ground National Certificate for Workplace Preparation, which is part of the new mandate that is going to come to Indian schools. In the earlier session, people talked about, school for preparing for higher education or, college prep courses. That's going to be a must for all of us in future. It's just like CCE, and this is going to be the future. And the next challenge is only 10 to 15% as of now are job ready. Mainly because the students lack core skills. We divided the entire program into core skills and subject domain skills. And the whole research is based on action research. We did 2 major programs, that is School Experience for Development of Skill Sets, which is very much critical to ILS, what the gentleman earlier has spoken, and Student Learning Portfolio. CCE, when it came to the field, our teachers did not have any trouble because every student had a portfolio. And I can authenticate a child's presentation or a work, and based on that, we could give a grade. And there was a lot of trouble. Many schools, many teachers in our country do not know how to grade students' work. And I challenge that if you can take 100 teachers and give them a work and ask them to grade it, they will fail on that. Because we have not groomed our teachers on a path of grading. So for that sake, we did a rubric parameters and we worked on that. And we developed the whole program around core skills and subject domain skills. And what we saw is core skills is a bedrock for learning and working in the future. And every workplace calls for core skills. And communication skills, thinking skills, and life skills are embedded. And part of life skills, we have embedded tolerance and cultural sensitivity for the chair's interest, because she represents an organization that is propagating peace and religious tolerance. We saw higher order thinking skills are core skills. These are things that every person should have, irrespective of whether they are going to be in whichever sector they will find in. The Series D focuses on information and communication technology, that is ICT, which is relevant to today's topic. And when we say ICT skills, I'm looking at not what product that you can sell to students. I'm approaching it, the people can sell any number of products, but the most important aspect here is, can we assess student learning based on the skills that are required so that they are job ready? What I'm saying is, these are the set of skills every child must have, and every teacher also should have, so that these skills are embedded into the future workforce, and these skills have to be evaluated as part of curriculum, also to be reported in National Certificate for Workplace Preparation, which is a new policy direction. And the way we approached it is, there is a minimum skill set range. There should be a tolerance of certain level of skill sets have to be there. And this is the most critical aspect of how to develop students based on MSSR. So for ICT skills, there should be an MSSR. And all of us are familiar with MLL, minimum levels of learning, but not minimum skill set range. ICT skills should have minimum skill set range for the teachers and for the students as well. For example, when I'm quoting the National Certificate for Workplace, this comes out of a policy direction that is issued September, I think 3rd, 2012, this year, by MHRD. What we are saying is, how can I prepare the teacher, how can I prepare the student to receive this certificate, because this is going to be mandatory, just like CCE is mandatory, and even the state schools over a period of time, maybe 5 years from now, you don't have a choice but do the similar kind of thing. And what we did is, we said that there are certain minimum aspects that we have to look for and train the teachers and also work with the students. And without parameters, you just cannot assess. And there is no such thing as grading is impossible without knowing what we're going to evaluate, how we're going to evaluate. I apologize, sincerely apologize for such a very small print. In assessment, we did something different, because we asked the students to evaluate their work. Suppose they get given a slide presentation, they will make slide presentation of a certain number of slides that we would define. They would have to do a self-assessment, then the teacher would assess, and then there is an inspector who would assess. Therefore, there is no nexus. So this is how we measure student readiness for workplace, National Certificate for Workplace Preparation or higher education preparation. And let me tell you, not a single student was dishonest in grading themselves. They were very honest. In fact, my staff asked me to write a congratulatory note for being honest. I said I expect them to be honest and they don't get a thank you for being honest. Kids are honest and we can trust them to do self-evaluation. That improves reflection, how far they have done, what else they can do better. I just want to take you through this national qualification framework because this is going to be something that probably next year this seminar will focus a lot on, but we thought we will do the bit of curtain raiser here. And what it says is, this is the last slide that connects for the first time in India. We don't have that luxury of stopping education and starting education anytime we choose. In most of the advanced countries, they have national qualification frameworks, or the flexibility of in and out movement is ensured. If I want to take up PhD and they say you are too old, or if I want to enroll in a degree course, they say you are too old. Such things, such barriers will be lifted, are lifted as far as the policy is concerned. And this also enables, next 5 years from now, they want to make everything credit ported. That means the credit from 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade will get ported into higher education. That means instead of doing degree for 3 years, a kid who is brighter can do it in 1.5 years. And what government is anticipating to do it in next 5 years, I want to deliver it in the next probably 6 to 8 months. We are close to that. That's because I anticipated CCE way back in 2005 and faced a lot of criticism because we are ahead of the times. But as far as the second policy is concerned of grounding and QF, I think we got on the right boat and we're going to reap a lot of benefit on this. And this is something that we understand quite well, and we developed a general education and skills. Professor Mantha appreciated the work that we have done, and the basic framework for how we can deliver this credit process is something that we are scripting in Andhra Pradesh, and I'm very proud of it. And at the same time, we don't charge very high fees because we are very particular that we should know how to deliver these kind of things at a low cost structure. Doing it at a high cost structure, I know how to enjoy the frills and fancies and deliver it, but doing it at a low cost structure is far more challenging. Thank you very much for your patience, and I'm sure a lot of you must be having some questions. At that time, if you have any questions on this, I'd be very happy to take. Thank you.